Hello, everybody. Rob Cootie here, the MLM Solution. Today is Thursday, March 25th, and it's currently 10:57 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As you know, we always go live at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We ask that you join us, Maria and I, at 11 a.m. You can find us, as always, using hashtag TheMLM Solution, hashtag TheMLM Solution. Please use that hashtag to share with our fellow network marketers across the globe, our social media platforms, and this live podcast. As you know, we stream each and every day at 11 a.m. Monday through Friday on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. So with that being said, today we have an interesting subject, a continuation of the care and feeding subject matter. And today is going to be inactive business partners. What do you do when you're dealing with these people? How do you care for them? And I don't mean to cuddle them, but I mean how do you care for them? How do you empower them? How do you motivate them? What information do you feed to them? We're going to talk about that and more today. And you're going to learn why these people can be a challenge and how they can waste your time if you're not careful. So join us again at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as we go and talk and take a deep dive into this interesting subject matter. We shall see you very shortly.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie.
Good morning, Miss Marie. How are you today? Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, Rob. I am doing well. How about yourself?
I have no complaints whatsoever. I feel good today. I'm starting to put together a lot of good days. Finally getting over all that sinus and coughing and hacking and the breathing issues. Although the doctors did say I have wheezing in my lungs, so I'm going to ENT, advanced ENT.
Oh, boy.
Well, hey, you know what? I'd rather do that and be on top of it than ignore it and something, get worse, right? But exactly. I feel good. I'm able to sleep at night, which is an awesome thing. So thank you for asking. Every time you ask that, it's dangerous. You realize that, right?
I do. And I have to tell you this morning, I'm going to apologize right up front. We acquired a pair of cats last night, and one of them's down in the basement in a hidey hole. The other one's outside the office door, kind of howling away. I'm hoping he'll quiet down in a minute here, but I wanted to keep him out for now, and we'll see. Maybe tomorrow, the Freelance Friday episode, I'll let him in and actually introduce him to everybody. But
there you go.
If you hear some howling or something that sounds like a crying baby, it's a cat. So don't.
There you go.
just ignore it. Don't worry about it.
How long are you going to have him? Yeah.
Sorry,
exactly.
What's that?
How long are you going to have him?
We've committed to a couple months. We're kind of doing a long-term care situation for friends who are traveling overseas, and they're not coming back as soon as they thought they would because they have a combination of business and pleasure going on, and they don't want to get stuck somewhere they don't mean to be because every country's got different travel restrictions and other requirements going on because of the whole COVID situation. So they needed somebody to take care of their cats for a little while, and we haven't had pets for quite some time. We are cat people, so we thought, hey, why not? We'll give it a try and see how it goes. So
right,
yeah,
interesting. Well, having cats of your own is one thing, but babysitting them is another. Good luck.
Well, there is the potential that this could become a permanent situation, but we'll address that down the road somewhere. So we'll see what happens.
Are you a cat person?
I am.
Well, there you go.
Absolutely.
If it ends up being permanent, I'm sure you'll handle it just fine.
Exactly. I would not be opposed. So
there you go.
That's why we're we're at today.
There you go. Well, I'll tell you what, I can tell already that cat is attached to you. If it's outside your door, it's saying, I want in because I want to be close to you. So you may have a permanent partner there and not know it yet.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
That's right. We'll see. That's all right. All right, guys. Today is podcast number 153. As you know, we're quickly making our way to 200. I don't know what I'll say, Miss Marie, once we reach 200.
Then you'll probably start talking about show 500.
Who knows? Who knows? So with that being said, guys, we are care and feeding inactive business partners. The last 2 days, we talked about care and feeding of new business partners and active business partners. There's a reason why we have this subject matter, okay? And it is because of the impact it's going to have on your business, okay? And there's real value in learning this information, as you'll see. Before we get started, let me just say tomorrow's show is going to be our Freelance Friday, episode number 46. Tune in at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as always, on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. So, Miss Marie, it is going to be an interesting subject today. As you already know, you already have, obviously, you set up the schedule. You already have an idea of just how important this subject matter can be for people. So I'll look forward to having this discussion as we wrap this up today.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the final installment of the Care and Feeding of trilogy. Today we're talking about inactive business partners, as you mentioned. If you missed our previous two where we talked about new business partners and active business partners, strongly recommend you go back and check those out because they do kind of build upon one another. And quite honestly, this could be the shortest episode in the history of the MLM solution because we could say, inactive business partners, just let them be. You don't want to spend a lot of time focusing on them, right? But here's the struggle. Here's where the struggle comes in is every time we bring in a new business partner, we have high hopes for them. And oftentimes we'll bring in a new partner thinking that they're going to be one of our strong leaders, right? And what ends up happening is what my friends in Texas call all hat, no cattle. And that means they're kind of all talk, no action, or perhaps something comes up and they're just not able to focus on the business the way they thought they would when they originally signed up, and they kind of go inactive, maybe become a customer at best, perhaps sell some product to people here and there, or they may be strictly product focused and they're not actually building a business. That kind of falls in the category of inactive business partner because, again, we're focusing on the folks who are actively building their business. That means they're going out and they're sharing the business opportunity with other like-minded individuals, showing them what they can achieve in terms of income, time freedom, and lifestyle, and seeing if they want to join in the efforts to achieve that level of success. Now, most people coming into the business, they think, well, yeah, of course I want a high level of success, right? So they get kind of amped up and excited. So that episode where we talked about a new business partner and how you deal with them, everybody kind of starts out from the same level playing field. But once a little bit of time has passed, people start distinguishing themselves. Some raise their hands and go, hey, I'm going to be active and I'm becoming a true leader in this organization. And others are just going to kind of go off kind of on the wayside. Now, you don't want to ignore those people. You're still going to be communicating with them. One of the things I talked about in the previous episode was having different email lists. That was the example I used. Whatever technology format you want to use, totally fine. But for my example, it was email lists. I had one for all of my business partners in my organization, and then I separated out those who are my active business partners. So I'm not creating a separate email list for inactive business partners. They're just part of my organization. And I communicate with the organization as a whole on a regular basis to give them the important updates, the high level type things, things like new products that may be coming out. If the company's opening in a new country or have announced that they're going to be opening in a new country, those types of things go out to the entire organization, which includes the inactive people.
Mhm.
Now, because if you're an active business builder and you're following our consistent and correct business building activities, you know you're going to be focusing on finding and working with your leaders. That's where your time's going to be spent. And if you're like most people, you may already have a full-time job, family commitments, school, who knows what else you have going on in your life. So there's a limited number of hours in the day that you can actually work your business. And you're going to spend that time in the most effective manner possible. And that's going to be working with the active business partners. You're not going to spend a lot of time on the inactives. Where I would say communication with the inactives may come in is if you see by monitoring your back office on a regular basis, maybe there's an uptick in volume, or maybe they signed up a new business partner kind of out of the blue. Then I would be reaching out to them to see maybe the time has become right for them and now they're ready to actively engage. Because the timing can be a factor for a lot of people. They may be inactive for months or even a year before they actually start taking action. Well, you want to engage them when they start taking action, right? And we've done a previous episode talking about that too. When they move, you move was kind of the whole topic of that episode, right? So when they start engaging and you see that activity in the back office, that would be the time to reach out to them and say, hey, excited for you. You signed up a new business partner. Let me know how I can assist, because chances are if it's been a while since they've engaged, they may not remember all the things they were trained on when you brought them in as a new business partner. So it may be an opportunity to re-engage them, do a little bit of refreshment training and help them train their new business partner, thereby enforcing the duplication you want to have in your organization. So that's where I would say the focus on the inactives is really kind of monitoring the back office and seeing if somebody all of a sudden kind of pops their head up and starts becoming active again. Now, of course, there are those that come into your business, and Rob, I'm sure you've had this happen too, where you've brought somebody into your business, you rated them at a very high level in terms of motivation and kind of the success you expected out of them. And maybe something happened, whatever the case is, they just didn't do much. So you turned your focus elsewhere. Those folks might be worth reaching out to occasionally just to check in. Hey, how are things going? Anything I can do for you? Great. Let me know. Again, not spending a ton of time and not trying to kind of pull them into the business, so to speak, because people are going to be as active as they're able. And I'll give you I'll explain a situation where I see which contributes to most inactive business partners. And those are the folks, and I did this too early on in my network marketing experience, was I sold people on the business. I kind of talked them into how great they would be at it, what a great opportunity it was, and kind of, pulled them across the starting line to get into the business. Well, if you've had to expend a lot of energy bringing somebody into the business, you're probably going to have to continue expending great amounts of energy to keep them engaged in the business. That's just not an effective use of your time. Those are the folks that typically end up becoming inactive because, sounds good, but when push comes to shove and it's time for the rubber to meet the road and action to be taken, they're like, nah. But they won't say no to your face, right? They won't actually back out. They don't want to hurt your feelings. They want to be supportive, whatever the case may be. But that is the biggest danger with the inactive folks, that you get in your mind how successful they can be and what a wonderful addition to your organization they're going to be. But they're, you're just not connecting on the same level there. It's just not.
That's right. Well, you covered a lot of great stuff there. I don't even know if I need to add anything to it. I think we're done with the show.
I said shortest episode ever.
I know, I didn't. That's the truth. No, there's not a whole lot for me to add to what you just said, but there's some things there that I think need a highlighting a little bit more, and that is Um, Guys, this is not a bleed over episode into some subject matter that we talked about before, specifically the episodes about identifying and working with leaders. Okay. That is a hardcore, that is a combination of using your back office along with your own personal knowledge and that using that information to identify a leader. Because what ends up happening if you don't use the back office, it becomes subjective. Miss Marie has one definition of a leader, I may have another. Now, it should be pretty simple and straightforward. That's the reason why we have the questionnaire in our business building system, so that you can, because you're doing an interview. When you meet a new prospect and you sit down with them, you're really taking a few moments to find out who they are and to get to know them, to let their guard down, let them take a quick breath. And you want to be genuine and sincere. And in other words, if I met Miss Marie, I'd say, hi, Miss Marie, hey, thanks for coming. Do you want a cup of coffee, anything? And if she says no, I'll say, well, I'm Rob Cootie. I've been in this industry for this long, and I have 2 daughters, and I live here locally. And just give a real quick overview, skimming the very top of my personal life, okay? And I'll do the same with her. And I know what these interview questions are. Hey, do you have any kids? No, or yes, I have 2. Where do you work? How long you been there? What do you do there? And just skim it over the top to get surface information and also to make them feel a little comfortable before I won't say bombard them, hit them with the network marketing business opportunity. And really hitting them is the wrong thing. What I'm doing is I'm letting them know, hey, I'm human. I'm not all business. And there's nothing wrong with being all business, because if you read the call letter, that's really what Richard Call did. But I've added my own personal touch to it because I like people. And I really have found out that by asking these interview questions, I get a feel for who this person is if they're telling the truth. I always assume that they are. Now, I don't want to go too deep into that. You're saying, well, what does that got to do with today's episode? I wanted to clarify the difference between the past episodes and what we're talking about today and what Miss Marie just went over. Keep in mind that inactive people can be great time wasters. But what Miss Marie said a moment ago is absolutely a gem of information. And something that I skimmed over or maybe even totally ignored when we've done those past episodes on the leaders. Because I always talk about a third will do it now, a third will do it later, a third will never do it. The thing is, you never know what that third's going to be. In other words, you never know where people are going to fall in that category. Just because I sponsored Miss Marie, if I go and join a business this past Monday and Miss Marie was the first person I signed up, it doesn't mean that she's in the first third. That's not what the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 means. Okay. And it doesn't mean that your first 1/3 is going to come out of the first group of people that you sponsor. You can sponsor 10 people and nobody take any action. That's not your first third. Okay. Right now they've identified themselves as the last third, right, Miss Marie? Because they're taking no action. Okay. Now you say, Rob, what's that got to do with the point you're making? And I'm not going in a roundabout way. What I'm doing is making some very important highlights here in this discussion. And that is this: when you're talking about somebody that's inactive, when you go to sponsor them, as Miss Marie did, which she highlighted very well, and that is they may not be active right now, but that doesn't mean that you blow them off. And she stated, you know what? You stay in touch with those people. And that's something I have not made very clear, what she made very clear today in this episode. And if you're watching this, or if you watch it later, if you're listening to this, she is telling you something that is a gem. Guys, you always stay in touch with your people. You never assume, hit the wrong one. You never assume that they're in the last third just because they're not doing anything right now. You have no idea what's going on in their personal life. What your job is as a business builder is to keep moving forward. You log in your back office, you see no activity, or you see a few orders, auto ship orders here and there. And maybe someone's not even 100 PV. Don't get discouraged. Don't get upset. The numbers are going to play out. You haven't done enough numbers yet for the numbers to start telling you a story, right, Miss Marie? So
yeah, exactly. And it's all about the timing for them, right? Our timing is now. We want it now because we always talk about the speed and urgency. So it's now. But
that's right.
That doesn't always work for everybody else, because you have to remember, when we're introducing the business opportunity to a lot of people, it's not something they were looking for. It's just something that's all of a sudden shown up. So they have to figure out how to work that into their life.
There it is. Very, very good point. Man, she's on a roll. She's been on a roll this week. Yes, that's absolutely correct. And here's the point that I'm making, guys. The only way you create speed and urgency, which we're not going to go into that topic, is by you moving forward. And as she said, you continue. If I sponsored 10 people, and my first day was Monday, and I've sponsored 10 people so far, and nobody's taking any action. A few of them have gotten on auto ship. Okay, maybe it's not 100 PV. I log in my back office. I could get down and out if I'm a newbie. And you're thinking, why aren't these people doing something? I told them what they need to do. I told them about the 100 PV, 100 people doing 100 PV, the threshold of profit. I told them about all that. And I showed them why they want to do that, and yet they're not doing it. If you focus in on that, Miss Marie, you can get down and out. You can say this doesn't work. You can let your emotions get away from you. And is what Miss Marie is saying, don't do that. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, and I was going to say, and it's unfortunate, and this is exactly where a lot of people get frustrated with the network marketing business model and think it doesn't work.
Yes.
Because they come into the business, they've been sold on it as kind of an easy way to make money.
Yes.
They go out, they talk to people, they kind of relay the same sales message, if you will, which is somewhat inaccurate. And they talk people into becoming part of their business, like I mentioned before, which I did too.
Yep.
And
me too.
they
Yep.
do nothing. So you sign people up and they're not doing anything. So if you're not really committed to building a business and you don't understand what it takes, you can get discouraged very easily.
Yes.
And become inactive yourself.
That's right. So the whole point of this subject matter in today's episode is how care and feeding of inactive business partners. Just because nothing's happening right now, the numbers have not played out. Your sole responsibility is to keep moving forward, finding new people. That's the reason why we always tell you to have a constant source of high quality leads from multiple lead generation sources so that you have a constant flow. You're so busy contacting these new people and delivering the music to the ears message to them, and maybe hopefully signing them up, that you don't have time to worry about what the past 10 people you sponsored in the business are doing. Here's what you do, as she stated. You send an email, a text, whatever. Hey, this is Rob. Hey, I'm just touching base with everybody. I know let's say you got to word it just right, and I'm being caught on it. It's been so long, but anyway, the point is you don't want to put your thumb on them. You don't want to be looking over the shoulder. You don't want to come across as, hey, get your butt in gear, you bunch of losers, right? You want to make sure that you word it in a way, and certainly I've done it many times. I don't know why I'm a loss for words right now, but the point is that when you contact them, you have to just say, hey, I'm here for you. That's all you got to do. However you word it, you want to keep it short and to the point. You do not want to drag it out. You do not want to reiterate what a great opportunity this is. You do not want to continue pounding home what a great fit this is for them and that they're going to do great. You don't do that. You don't even talk about the timing. You know what you do? Just say, hey, there's Rob. You know what? I'm here. I just want you guys to know I haven't talked to you in 2-3 days. That's fine. I don't want you to think that I have forgotten about you, because Miss Marie, we talk about it. One of the biggest problems in this industry is people get sponsored and they never hear from their sponsor again. Guys, talk to them every 2 to 3 days, send out a message, and all you got to do is, hey, is everybody doing well? If not, give me a call. I don't have a problem. I mean, I'll make time. That's probably a better way of putting it. As you can see, I'm struggling for words this morning, but I've done it enough times, it'll come back to me. But the point is that you're not tiptoeing around them. You're telling them exactly, hey, I'm here for you. I'm busy, but I'll make time. Okay, you guys are important to me, and I want you to feel like you're on your own. And that's all you can do, Miss Marie. You cannot do what you said earlier, drag them. We've all been there. We've all tried to convince people this, and some people would be great, but they don't have the burn. They don't have the desire. They don't have the vision. And as I said many times, if there was one thing the organizations that accessed the Amway business model did, the greatest thing they did, Miss Marie, was selling the dream. They sold the dream with the cars, the homes, the vacation, the freedom, and then they showed you how to get there. Okay. And here's the thing, guys. If a person doesn't have the dream, guess what? And part of the sponsoring process is selling the dream. Well, how do you sell the dream? The music to the ears message. It has all the keywords in it that most people want. You don't have to use the word cars, homes, and all that, because most people hear that so much, they immediately associate those keywords with scams. Oh, they're just trying to get me motivated with cars and money. And you know what? A lot of people have a different definition of lifestyle. If you just let them know that they have a hold of something that will help them develop the lifestyle they want, you're going to be amazed at the response you're going to get. And if you use the music to the ears message, Miss Marie, it builds that dream within them. Because people come motivated, Miss Marie, when they realize that dream is a possibility. And as Miss Marie said, you can't drag them across the finish line. You can't drag them into the business and make them work it, right? You said that from the very beginning.
Yep, exactly. Because all you're going to do, if you drag them into the business, you're going to drag them all the way through. And all that's going to do is create a drag on your business. And you're not going to be able to move as quickly as you want to, or attain the levels of success that you're capable of, because you've got all this dead weight you're kind of dragging along with you.
I've done that, believe me. Thinking I was
think
doing
we all
it right
have.
And there's an old term: you wanted it more for them than they wanted it themselves, and that applies to many industries. So Miss Marie brought up a lot of great points, and the bottom line is, guys, is that when you're feeding and caring for an inactive person, all you're doing is staying in touch with them every 2 to 3 days, letting them know that you're there. If you want, you can say, hey, Miss Marie just made direct in her first week. You can send out a success story. Matter of fact, you can label the email, the text, whatever, success story, weekly success stories, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, the MLM Solution weekly success stories. Okay, and make it official. And once a week, just send out, hey, I signed up 3 people this week. Hey, Miss Marie went direct this week. So-and-so went direct the following week. You can send those out to your new people until they say stop. Okay. But you don't want to do it every day, right, Miss Marie? Don't do it every day.
Right. No, and this is what I was talking about as part of that entire organization communication.
That's right.
You want to send out those periodic success stories because it's motivating. It enforces the fact that the business works. And one of the things I was always careful to talk about too is, as people were achieving those different, pin levels or levels of success, or, the bonus trip or the car, or whatever it was, is I'd always kind of start out by explaining where they were before they came into the business, like what kind of job they had, what their background is, because that's how people relate. It's like, oh, that person was a school teacher as well, and they've achieved diamond level, and they've gotten this executive trip and whatever. It's like, so it can be done. Well, I'm a school teacher. I could do that too, right?
That's right.
So sometimes that's what gives those inactive folks the kick to kind of reignite their dreams, reignite their passion, and decide to get them really moving in the business.
That's right. And guys, if you signed up 3 people in 1 week, with their permission, you ask if you can take a picture on your cell phone and say, hey, I send out a weekly newsletter to all my people, highlighting new signups. Is it okay if I send it out to my group? It will not go anyplace else. Guys, you don't want to put it on Facebook. Please don't put it on Twitter. You think you're doing the right thing. Miss Marie, I just want to give this a little insight. In today's legal environment, you could get yourself in trouble. Why? Because if you put a picture of someone or a couple on Twitter, Facebook, whatever, and say, here's my new signups, and their company finds out, there are companies that frown on their people doing any kind of activity, whether it's network marketing or whatever. And you could put their job in jeopardy. You could put them in hot water. So you always, always, always have to ask. And you always tell them, say, look, it's just going to my people. It's not going on any social media, nothing. Okay. And the reason being is for that right there is because you don't want to put them in a compromising position. Would you not agree with that, Miss Marie?
Within a limited scope. I mean, yes, I would not post it on Facebook, but if you have like you're using a Facebook group as your team
Yes,
communication, that's a different story.
that's a good
That's
point.
the only distinction I'd make there.
Yes, because you can set a group up where it's protected, where no one, only the people that are in your group have access to that information. So that's a very good point. So, with that being said, guys, you have to understand that you are communicating with your inactive new business partners. What are you doing? You're caring for them. Why are you caring for them? Because you're continuing to stay in touch with them. You're showing that you, in fact, do care. You're not just leaving them. Okay. And you don't know what third they're going to end up in. So you should. And it's not because, oh my gosh, I don't know what third they're going to end up in. I better stay in touch with them. Guys, you stay in touch with them until they let you know that they're not going to respond. If you're sending out stuff and you don't hear anything from them for 4 or 5 weeks, I would say that person, that hurts. It doesn't hurt at all to keep them on your list. What does that hurt? It's nothing more than a push of a button. Okay. But until they tell you, email you back, text you back, whatever, and say, hey, don't send me any more information, I'm not interested anymore, then you keep doing it. But once they make that request legally, you have to remove them for that list. And please do, and let them go. They have identified them as the last third, right, Miss Maureen?
Mm-hmm.
So, and if they all of a sudden out of the blue start doing an auto ship at $35, they're now in the second third. In other words, they took some kind of action, okay, but they're ending up being nothing but a customer. Well, that's great. Take all the customers you can get. The people that wake up one day and all of a sudden you log in and there's 300 or 400 PV in there because they've been signing new people up. You say, oh, what are they doing? They're identifying themselves as what in the first third. As Miss Marie said, there's a slingshot effect. There's a boomerang effect. It's probably the best way to say it. When you get out there and start sponsoring people, guys, I'm telling you, when you're new and you're fumbling through the music to the ears message and you're not doing things in sequence, but you're still sponsoring people, I'm telling you, it's all going to be all mumbled jumbled. Okay. And the numbers are only going to start working as you continue to move forward. You are the one that's in control of the numbers and the results that you get. But you have to do the things that Miss Marie highlighted at the beginning of the show. And if you missed that, go back. Please take some notes. Please listen again and watch it again. Make sure you get that because she made some great points. All we're doing now is just fill in a few gaps in those points with some additional information. But you got to realize that your inactive business partners are very valuable to you. One of those people, remember, the numbers are going to work the further you go along yourself. And in order to keep speed and urgency, you have to keep moving forward as aggressively as you can. But here's what will happen. You will see, and I bet it's going to happen more times than many of you think. There'll be somebody out of the first group of people, and I don't mean the first 10, it could be the first 20, it could be the first 30. No one knows. That'll end up being one of your strongest legs, okay? Because it takes a while for some people. Some people are slow starters. Some people's confidence is not as high as yours in the business model. Some people are going to watch you. Even high quality people are going to watch you. And when they see that you're sending out weekly text messages about the success, they know you're active. They're saying, wow, you know what? This Marie, she's signing people up. She's including their pictures. And even if you don't have pictures, guys, send out their names if they allow you. Okay. Maybe they don't want their pictures taken, whatever. But here's the thing. What does that tell them? That Miss Marie understands this business model works. She has confidence in it and she's getting results and she's moving forward. Because Miss Marie, the greatest motivator of all is results. Results. Not only that first check, Miss Marie, but the fact that people are joining them. You know, people get excited. You know, it's hard to fill an arena of 20,000, a 20,000 seat arena with one person and have enthusiasm, right? The enthusiasm comes from the group. When one person sees 19,000 other people screaming and yelling, okay, that's when everybody gets fired up. I don't know if you ever remember this, and this is my last point. Maybe it was you that told me, and if you did, I apologize for not remembering it. But here's the thing. Who was it that was telling us that one person was out there dancing and a bunch of people were watching, and all of a sudden another person came out of the crowd and started doing it, and before you knew it, it's on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I don't remember who told us about that.
Yeah. And all of a sudden they had 30 people out there and everybody was clapping. There was power and excitement and motivation and numbers. But it all started with that one person who had the guts to go out there and dance in front of everybody in a public environment. Okay. And that encouraged other people to join in. All right. So here's the thing. And another story. I remember this little girl, as you know, Miss Marie, I call games for high school sports. And I remember this one girl wanted to sing the national anthem, and she got so nervous that she forgot some of the words. She knew the the song, but she got so nervous. She had a beautiful voice that she had forgotten, and she was getting so intimidated and upset. So everybody started joining in. Another prime example how everybody else lifted her up because they joined in. But she had to take the first step, and that was singing it, which is tough for a teenage kid to get in front of all those people singing a tough song. I couldn't sing it. I mean, I know the words, but I don't have a voice. Believe me, you don't want me singing it. But you get my point. Another prime example how, guys, it's the same way here. When you send out those valuable text messages or those emails, or you have a website that you update that shows the people that are joining your business, it will bring along others on their own because that will ignite something within them, and you're not dragging them across. So that's all I wanted to say, Miss Marie.
Yeah, and I think really in summarizing the care and feeding of your inactive business partners, you're not going to spend a lot of time on them because they're not active.
That's
right. But at the same time, don't lose hope. They could become active at some point in the future. So keep them engaged.
Yep.
Keep them informed. Don't try to push the business on them too much, but at the same time, don't lose hope and just, let it play out the way it's going to play out.
There it is. That's right. Because guys, to finish that point real quick, there are going to be people that say, let's go. And you're going to be so busy with them that you'll forget about those, and don't forget about them, as Miss Marie said. Meet them at their level. Let them be there. Let them be what they're going to be. You focus on moving forward. All right, Miss Marie, I think that covers it all, don't you?
I do.
I think that was a good episode. I think that is something that's going to help a lot of people. Once again, information, guys, you're not going to learn anyplace else. All right, with that being said, if you have missed today's episode, as you know, we have now completely updated our website. And you have the ability to go to our website and you can click the link at the top of the page that says podcast replay. You can get a free gift as well. You can see the URL right there as well. If you just want to type it in yourself, there's always going to be a free gift there of some type. And as you can see right now, there's a very valuable one. It is the network marketing. It's a numbers game. If you don't understand the numbers of network marketing, guys, you are at a major disadvantage, as Miss Marie knows. We just talked about how the numbers can have an impact on your business. This business is all about numbers. And if you don't understand how they work, Miss Marie, you're going to get discouraged and you're going to quit because you're going to think things are not happening. And if you don't understand the type of people you're looking for, which is number-based, 5 and above on a scale of ambition, if you're not sponsoring the right type of people and you don't know that you're not, guess what? It is a major letdown, is it not, Ms. Marie? Because you're doing all this work, and you're like, why are they doing something? Why are they? You got to understand, and episodes like today will help clarify so you don't give up on your future. You don't give up on your business. You understand what's happening, and you know that your responsibilities keep moving forward. And just a quick little snapshot, there's a scale of ambition, and that document is absolutely essential knowledge for you. So you can get that at our website as well. All right, Miss Marie, if you are ready, we will be doing Freelance Friday tomorrow, right?
Yep. Friday, March. Wow. What are we at? March 26th already, 11 a.m. Eastern. Fridays are my favorite. You never know what's going to happen.
All right. Well, that being said, we're going to hop off of here. One last thing, and then we're done. There it is. Go there. Okay, you can get this What Not to Do in Network Marketing for only $47 for the next 24 hours. Don't miss it, guys. Don't let it go away. Save yourself $150 and get this great information. All right, that, Miss Marie, we're going to hop off of here and get ready for tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the MLM Solution Podcast. For more info, visit our website, TheMLM-solution.net. Please follow us on the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, etc. And share this podcast with our fellow network marketers around the world by hitting the share button on our various platforms.